Hey, listen, first of all, let me say thank you for giving me an opportunity to come in, and my team really, to come in and talk about HCC. And I'm going to do a couple of things for you. First of all, I have to tell you, I really don't do a lot of things in 8 minutes. Let me just tell you. But I'm going to adhere to your timetable, but I am going to tell you that I'd like to tell you a little bit about what's going on at the college and give you an idea about a couple of new programs that we are going to be pursuing. But before I begin, I hope you have a chance to see our fact sheet we gave you. It tells you some interesting stories. But we are one of 28 two-year colleges in Florida. There are 28 of us located throughout all aspects of Florida. We serve in those 28 colleges, the two-year colleges in Florida, over 750,000 students attend those 28 colleges. I won't even talk about the economic impact for the state that they bring, but I will talk about the economic impact that ACC has right here. We do $1.3 billion worth of economic impact right here. I think we're about the 16th most economic impact agency in the city here in Tampa. Also, we serve normally we serve about 47,000 students, but as you can imagine, COVID has had a tremendous impact on us. And now we're down to about 43,000 students. You know, I sort of love this because I'm no good behind a podium. I always like to walk around. So if you see me walking around and talking with my hands, I talk with my hands a lot. But we serve about that. We have over 200 programs of study. The average associate degree graduate who comes to us makes about $60,000, which is a good income for a good living. Middle income, middle wages. Minimum. It gives you a good standard of living by virtually coming to us. The most important thing is that we have one here today. We have 1 million alumni in the Tampa Bay area. We were founded in 1968, and since that time, we have 1 million alumni from ACC. ACC itself is a multi-campus institution. We have 5 campuses throughout Tampa and 3 major centers. We offer programs, like I told you, to over 200 programs of study. And someone asked, what do you do? I said, we do everything. Just think of something we do. We pride ourselves, though. In the last 10 years, I would say, we have really focused our efforts on workforce training programs. We've always been an institution that has a high transfer rate. About 60% of our students who come to us transfer to the university, and primarily they transfer to USF. We're the largest transfer feeder to USF. About 60% of those do that. But just recently, we have been focusing on workforce training programs. As you can imagine, we're trying to get people jobs. That's what we do. You come to ACC, we get you jobs, we change your life, hopefully for the better, by doing that. Just for example, our apprenticeship program, we run a lot of apprenticeship programs. We have a 100% placement rate out of our apprenticeship program. You may not realize this, but whenever you go to healthcare for healthcare service, if you're not going to see the doctor, you're going to probably see some type of technician. 9 times out of 10, they have been trained by us. We have over 23 different healthcare training programs at the college. In 2019, we were fortunate enough to build a brand new healthcare training facility over at our Del Mabry campus. Just a quick question, and then I'm going to stop. I know I'll go over 8 minutes real quick, and I want to get my man her due diligence. But more importantly, I want to hear from you. But just quickly, how many of you have been to one of our campuses? Good. Did you know we had 5 campuses? I know you did, Henry, because I've been around you forever. But truly, we're in a position to where we try to impact all of Hillsborough County. Any aspect of Hillsborough County, you will find a venue that is usually supported or either somewhere where you can attend at HCC. I will stop on this last note. We are beginning next fall to offer our first baccalaureate degree program. And we're going to start offering a baccalaureate degree in nursing. And I will tell you, we graduate every year, RN, nearly 250 nurses every year. We now have, for our first program, we now have for our first cohort that's going to begin next fall, we have 80 people who've already committed to sign up for that cohort. And I just can't tell you that the new building that we built over on the Del Mabry campus has been instrumental in us being able to offer those programs, because literally, if you have a chance, come by and visit. You'd be surprised at what type of training facility that we have there. It is great. And I'm gonna stop, and I know I'm not to ask questions, BJ, because I'm saying I'm sort of conscious about my minute. I got to give Amanda an opportunity. But thank you again for the invite, and our invitation always stands open to any of you. If we can do anything to assist you, or just want to come by and see what's going on, our 2,500 employees will be more than glad to help make sure you get a good dose of HCC. Thank you.
My name is Amanda Poss. I'm the gallery director for Hillsborough Community College. It's always a tough act to follow Dr. Atwater, but I will do my best. I also hope you come and visit our campuses. We have galleries at both the Dale Mabry and the Ybor City campuses. And if you visit our new Allied Health building, you'll see wonderful, original, contemporary art in all the hallways and all the floors, which comes from our really close relationship with the arts in our community here in Tampa Bay. Many of those artworks are donated by artists who live and work here. And I see a couple people in the audience who are artists who have exhibited in our gallery. So in many of my hats, what I do is curate exhibitions, but also since 2018, we've been branching out into public art. So 2018 was when we celebrated the college's 50th anniversary. It provided this wonderful catalyst to expand our arts offerings at HCC and to invite the community to have a voice in it. Creative placemaking is one of those wonderful moments where we can do something by and with the community instead of just something that's done to a community, right? You can have input on the research process, input on the fabrication, and then a public celebration. So it was really clear to us after the first mural that we did at the Dale Mabry campus that this was something that unified our campus, was a point of pride for our students, all those intangible factors that help make our students feel supported and proud to be up at HCC. But also these were moments where we could have critical conversations, ask serious questions, and enter into dialogues with people both similar and dissimilar from themselves. I mean, we all know the transformative power of the art, right? So as this program grew, we started asking ourselves, how might we take the success of this new public art program and leverage it to also meet pressing social needs for our community? What we found out was that same year we started with meals, the college launched its first food pantries for our students. That was born out of a need that was facing so many of our students. In 2019, what we learned was that 1 in 10 residents in Hillsborough County report feeling at least sometimes food insecure, meaning they might have access to ramen, we've all done it, but they may not know when their next nutritious meal may come. That same question posed to Hillsborough Community College students, 1 in 2. This was pre-pandemic, mind you. So we thought, let's take public art and use it as a way to bring attention to these issues and maybe even literally feed and give back to our community in that way. And so that's when we contacted Tory, Tepp, whose work with the land and agriculture was really this perfect fit. We developed a project that we called NEST. I mentioned we're the Hawks, we love a good theme, but NEST also stands for Nourishment, Education, and Social Terraces. And when we were meeting with stakeholders, both internal and external to the community throughout the pandemic, we had to switch to Zoom, it was a whole thing. We found that they wanted places where they could de-stress, relax, connect to nature. We've all spent one too many hours in front of a computer screen, I think, at this point. And connecting with the earth is such a powerful way to restore your mind and your soul. And if that land can also feed you, nourish your body. So as we were doing the project with Nest, one of the things that we couldn't do was a planned portion where we were going to go out into the community. Tory was going to make this educational mobile kiosk, but with the pandemic, we just decided it wasn't the right time in 2020. So, after Nest, which we did with the support of the Godiac Foundation with our Tampa grant, we went back and wrote another grant with the Arts Council of Hillsborough County and brought Tory back to the college to do a project which we called Fledgling. And now I'm going to let Tory talk about that project and how this all relates.
Good morning. I'm Tory. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today. So Amanda reached out to me in 2020, right as I was moving out of the state, and said, "Do you want to think about doing an agricultural project with us?" And we've been working on this for a couple of years, and finally came to completion last spring. And basically, what Nest was about was creating this, basically a living and productive classroom where you could interact directly with each other in this space where you could, eat fresh produce right off the trees, watch these things grow, watch them evolve. And now we've got to the point where sort of the pandemic is ramping down. We want to return to this idea of how can we develop this mobile unit to go out into the community. So about 6 weeks ago, we started production on what we're calling Fledgling, which is the mobile arm of the Nest project. And the idea behind Fledgling is it's basically an mobile art unit that can go out into the community and engage in a dialogue with that community. And we look at it as a way to take information from the Nest sites out to the community, but also as a way of interacting with the community and bringing information back to HCC. And hopefully what that does is generate continuous dialogue back and forth between the various communities within HCC and the neighboring communities. A little bit about Fledgling itself. It's still in production, it's still evolving, but basically we bought a bunch of children's bikes that we've broken down. We're trying to use as many recycled and upcycled materials as we can, which makes it difficult because we're kind of generating a Frankenstein-style creature here. But one of the exciting things that we're going to have, this cart will basically fold up for transport, and then when it gets to a community, it'll break open, and there will be many ways in which the community can interface with this thing. You'll have a solar panel, so there will be possibly a Wi-Fi outlet, there'll be charging stations. We're building right now what we're calling modules, which will be a series of interchangeable information packs that can be taken on and off of the unit and stored. So depending on what community you're going into and what your purpose is, you can put different types of modules. If you're going to go out to a community and actually plant trees, you can put tools on it, you can put the seed library on it, you can put, right now we're propagating seedlings from the cuttings of the trees within the Nest site, so we're getting a lot of mulberries that are just coming up from the cuttings. If you're going to go out and have a conversation, you can include a recipe library. What else are we thinking? We're thinking about just having some, games like chess and checkerboards, ways to make this a community centerpiece. Maybe a food prep station, so you can go out and make fruta fresca in the community. Any different way that you can engage your community and start a dialogue with them. We're going to try and create these little kits, these field kits that go with it. Right now we're actually working, I've got 6 or 7 interns that are here from HCC, USF, and University of Tampa. And I've kind of given them the opportunity to take their ideas and run with it. So they're bringing a whole new influx of ideas into this, like a tea and coffee service, portable art kits so that people can come and do small scale paintings or drawings, right? So it's been really fascinating to see what these students from this whole educational community are bringing to this project. So I think March 26th is when we're scheduled to launch, and we're going to have an event both at the Ybor City HCC campus, and then we will actually ride this thing. Oh, I didn't mention this thing gets pulled by an adult tricycle. So in theory, it's going to be fabulous, right? So yeah. It's going to be interesting, and but then the Fledgling will be pulled over to the Meacham Urban Farm, where we'll have an event there and talk about the farm, urban agriculture and food needs within the community, how we can grow clean food, how we can make clean soil, and really do a lot of composting there. Yeah, so these are some of the issues that Fledgling hopes to be able to disseminate through communities to raise awareness about growing food, saving seeds, eating healthy,